Today on ZZZ Made Easy, we're crashing some waves with the new and improved Ellen 2.0. Starting with version 2.0, Ellen has received new moves plus tweaks to old abilities. This video will cover her main mechanics, how you can build Ellen, and what new teams she can fit into. My goal is to get you comfortable with the basics so you can experiment on your own. Don't worry if you aren't familiar with 1.0 Ellen, we're going to cover her entire kit as if she was a new agent. Ellen is an S-rank ice attack agent from Victoria Housekeeping. She is a hungry on-fielder who needs to weave in her strong dash attack to convert her basic attacks into ice damage. Thanks to the rework, Ellen is much smoother to play, her burst potential has substantially improved, and her team options are a lot more flexible now. Ellen's kit depends on her special roaming state dash, which can be entered by holding down the dodge button when you're moving in direction. You can also double tap dodge as well. While in the roaming state, press basic attack to do a swift scissor strike dash attack. Ellen will lunge at an enemy and gain 1 flash freeze charge located under her portrait. If you hold the basic attack button, Ellen will instead begin a charge scissor strike dash attack. The charge scissor strike grants 3 flash freeze charges. Ellen can hold 6 charges, which means 2 charge dash attacks. Charge scissor strike is Ellen's main move, but previously had little safety. It does have iframes when the actual attack occurs, but this is a super small window. With 2.0, Ellen's charge scissor strike now has a built-in parry or block. This is available the entire time Ellen is charging, so she can now easily complete the full move. In fact, if you trigger the block, Ellen will complete her charging immediately. The main issue with Ellen's original gameplay is now gone for the most part. If you need flash freeze charges, you can do the charge dash attack at any time. With flash freeze, Ellen is going to use that to convert her basic attack combo into dealing ice damage. She does a 3-part combo with each part consuming 1 charge. Ellen's third basic attack has her dive behind the enemy before she kicks her shears at them. If you mash or hold the basic attack button, this will extend the move. Ellen's third basic is a major part of her damage. Try to keep that spinning kick going as much as possible. Besides the little teleport behind the enemy, Ellen's basic attacks don't have iframes. The rework has added 2 new moves to address this issue. First, Glacial Blade Wave is a 2-part combo. After Ellen does her charge scissor strike, press basic attack to do this new move. Ellen will do a wide aerial sweep followed by slashes on the ground. This will consume 2 flash freeze. Glacial Blade Wave, or GBW, is considered basic attack damage and has full iframes during both parts of the attack. You can think of Glacial Blade Wave as Ellen combining her first 2 basic attacks. Those would have cost 2 flash free charges anyway, but GBW does more damage and has iframes throughout. It will also chain into Ellen's third basic attack. We'll come back to this in just a bit. The second new move Ellen received is her Icy Blade projectile from Lost Void. This move is interesting because you don't actually press a button to start it. Icy Blade will automatically occur after Ellen's third basic attack and doesn't cost any flash freeze charges. It is also considered basic attack damage. Icy Blade is a nice AoE attack and it actually does more damage to bigger enemies. The Icy Blade animation gives Ellen iframes. If you see an incoming attack when you're doing your third basic, you can stop pressing the button to begin Icy Blade. This will provide a new way to keep attacking instead of just dodging out. There is a lot more to talk about for Ellen's new moves, but first let's go over the other changes to her kit. Ellen's core passive receives some tweaks. She increases the crit damage of the following moves by plus 100%. Charge Scissor Strike and Flash Freeze basic attacks were the only moves included in the original passive. Newly added are Ellen's Chain Attack, Ultimate, and the 2 new moves, Glacial Blade Wave plus Icy Blade. Essentially, Ellen gets a huge damage buff. Her core passive applies to the 2 new moves, which is nice, but more importantly, Ellen's big burst damage moves are included now. Ellen's Chain Attack is a simple downward slam. It does take a little bit of time, but with the extra 100% crit damage, I think we can accept that. Double Chain Attack use is now much more enticing. As for the ultimate, this is just a big damage nuke that just got 100% bonus crit damage. Mechanically, nothing has changed, but good lord, that's a big buff. Ellen's addition ability received 1 change, and that was to its activation condition. Ellen needs an ice agent, a Victoria Housekeeping ally, or any stun agent. When Ellen deals ice damage, she will get a plus 3% ice damage bonus for 10 seconds. This can stack 10 times with repeated triggers resetting the timer. After any 10 ice damage hits, Ellen will now just have plus 30% ice damage for 10 seconds after. Ellen deals a lot of smaller hits, so this ability is very easy to stack. As long as you're attacking within 10 seconds, it's basically free damage. Now, the big 2.0 improvement is being able to get this ability with any stun agent on the team. This is huge because previously Ellen was kind of locked into having either Lycon, Sokaku, or Rina. That is no longer the case. Let's summarize Ellen's kit so far. She needs to do her Charge Scissor Strike to gain flash freeze charges. This is now super easy with the new block mechanic. Ellen will then consume Flash Freeze to enhance her basic attacks, which get 100% crit damage via her core passive. This bonus has expanded to Ellen's burst damage moves as well as her new moves. Glacial Blade Wave is replacing Ellen's first and second basic attack, and it's a very safe iframe move. Icy Blade will automatically occur after Ellen's third basic attack. As for her additional ability, as long as Ellen is attacking, she gets an easy 30% extra ice damage. Let's now go over how to combine Ellen's new moves. With 6 Flash Freeze charges, start her basic attack string. After the third basic spinning kick, let Icy Blade happen. With the remaining 3 charges, you can press basic attack and Ellen will now do Glacial Blade Wave. Mash or hold the button again to do Ellen's third basic and end with a second Icy Blade. There isn't actually any timing to this combo, you can literally just mash away. The main takeaway is that Ellen can do Glacial Blade Wave after her third basic plus Icy Blade finisher. That is, of course, assuming you still have Flash Freeze charges. This combo is fine, but there is a more common scenario you're going to run into. If Ellen only has 3 charges on hand, you can begin with a safer Charged Scissor Strike. That gets Ellen to 6 charges, and now she can do a Glacial Blade Wave right off the bat. The rest of the combo is the same as before. GBW into third basic, into Icy Blade, into a second round of the same moves. This will consume the 6 Flash Freeze charges. For the rest of this video, I will refer to the Glacial Blade Wave plus third basic attack plus Icy Blade combo as the Flash Freeze combo. We will refer back to this set of moves a lot. When Ellen doesn't have enough charges to continue the Flash Freeze combo, you're going to want to start roaming and then do a Charged Scissor Strike. Now is a good time to mention that Icy Blade is going to grant Ellen her Quick Charge buff. Before the 2.0 Charged Scissor Strike, Ellen had to make use of a Quick Charge mechanic. After perfect dodging or activating a Quick Assist, and now after Icy Blade, Ellen will get Quick Charge for 5 seconds. This speeds up the Charged Scissor Strike animation, making it easier to get the full charge off before you got hit. That's not really an issue with the rework, but it's still a faster animation, so you want to use Quick Charge if you got it. It's important to know that Ellen can enter the roaming state from perfect dodge or quick assist. To do this, instead of just tapping dodge at the right moment, you want to hold dodge and a direction. This still triggers perfect dodge, but Ellen enters roaming directly. As for quick assist prompts, you only need to hold a direction while you press the swap button. Ellen will start roaming instead of attacking. From either of these methods, you can go into a quick Charged Scissor Strike. With Ellen 2.0, the faster animation is not really needed to avoid attacks, but it makes Ellen feel smoother to play. It's a nice quality of life improvement since Ellen 2.0 does get a lot more time to attack uninterrupted. With this info, we can complete Ellen's general gameplay loop. I will call this the Flash Freeze loop combo. Building off the previous Flash Freeze combo, if you do not have enough charges after Icy Blade, you want to go into roaming state with the hold dodge plus direction input. With Icy Blade's quick charge buff, you can now do a faster Charged Scissor Strike to gain 3 more charges. We then just repeat the Flash Freeze combo of Glacial Blade Wave, third basic, Icy Blade. Instead of the looping basic attack combo, we're just throwing in Charged Scissor Strike as necessary. This combo gains 3 charges and consumes 3 charges, which is why I call it a loop. This was already the basis of Ellen's 1.0 gameplay, but with all these new moves and iframes makes everything so much smoother. Now that we know Icy Blade provides quick charge, how else can we do the Icy Blade move? Ellen's defensive assist isn't anything special, but her assist follow-up is a similar spinning kick like her third basic attack. You can mash or hold the button to extend the move, and after this, Ellen will shoot Icy Blade. With Icy Blade done, quick charge is ready so Ellen can begin the Flash Freeze loop. I glossed over Ellen's dodge counter and quick assist earlier because they are a part of new combos. The dodge counter is a quick cut after warping behind the target. After Ellen's dodge counter, she will shoot Icy Blade now. If you don't have Flash Freeze charges, this can allow you to go into a quick Charged Scissor Strike. However, if you do have charges, Ellen can begin a new combo. Ideally, you're going to want 3 Flash Freeze for this. After the dodge counter, let Icy Blade happen, then press basic attack to do Glacial Blade Wave. From here, we just follow the Flash Freeze combo. GBW into third basic, into Icy Blade, begin the Flash Freeze loop to regain charges after. Ellen's quick assist is going to be the same animation as the dodge counter, but it has a slightly different combo. There is no Icy Blade after the quick assist attack, instead Ellen will go into Glacial Blade Wave directly, plus the rest of the Flash Freeze combo. This combo is for when you have a lot of Flash Freeze charges already. If you don't have any charges, you're going to want to use that quick assist prompt for the direct roaming state so you can do your quick Charged Scissor Strike. With all the new moves, we haven't actually discussed Ellen's EX special yet. With 40 energy, you can tap the special button to do Tail Swipe. This move has full iframes, and afterwards Ellen can shortcut into her third basic attack. In case you don't have any flash freeze, Ellen's EX special will grant 1 charge per use. This means you're guaranteed to get the icy third basic attack after. I'm going to call this the Tail Swipe combo for future reference. Ellen will have a follow-up EX special. For another 40 energy, you can tap special again after Tail Swipe, and she's going to do Shark Nami. This move has a wider AoE, does more damage than Tail Swipe, and also grants 1 flash freeze charge. After this move, Ellen will also skip to her third basic attack. I'll call this the Shark Nami combo. With 2.0, there is a change after Shark Nami though. Instead of directly doing the third basic, Ellen will throw in a very quick Icy Blade. You don't have to press any extra buttons, so it's basically a free damage buff here. Previously, you might have just done the first EX special to get to Ellen's third basic attack faster. Remember that the 2 EX special moves do not actually benefit from the core passive's crit damage bonus. This meant doing 2 separate Tail Swipe combos could have been better than 1 Shark Nami combo. Interestingly, Glacial Blade Wave actually has about the same damage multiplier as the first EX special Tail Swipe. Because it is also an iframe move, and it shortcuts into the third basic, GBW actually is stronger than Tail Swipe because it's getting that 100% extra crit damage. The main benefits of the Tail Swipe combo though is that you can do it from standing and you don't need any flash freeze. Coming out of a chain attack or ultimate is a good example where just doing the Tail Swipe combo is smoother than starting the roaming estate, then charge scissor strike, then Glacial Blade Wave. We can extend this idea to the 2.0 Shark Nami combo. With the additional Icy Blade damage, you may want to commit to double EX specials when you have a DPS window. After chain attacks or ultimates, you can use Shark Nami, get the free Icy Blade, and then chain into the third basic. From here, we're just going to do the Flash Freeze combo, which is all basic attack spam. This extended Shark Nami plus Flash Freeze combo only requires 2 Flash Freezes to start because the 2 EX specials will give you 2 charges. The third basic into GBW into third basic is going to consume 4 charges total. Like usual though, if you run out of charges at any point, you just start the Flash Freeze loop. Before entering stun phases, try to have some charges and energy so you can do the Tail Swipe or Shark Nami combos for extended damage. Before you get to those though, you may want to do double chain attacks since Ellen's core passive now applies to that move. For those not familiar, you want to start your stun with another agent. Send Ellen in for the first chain attack, then cancel the second chain attack prompt. You need to swap to another ally and trigger a heavy attack. This method will allow you to send Ellen in for a second chain attack. After that is completed, you can do Ellen's ultimate, then the EX special plus Flash Freeze combos. Depending on other factors, you could also save the ultimate for later. Doing the EX specials plus Flash Freeze combos first can stack up 4-piece Woodpecker or Brimstone's attack buff. You can then end the stun phase with ultimate instead. Obviously, this might be your only option if you still needed more decibels after chain attacking. Something I want to mention is getting freeze anomalies during a stun. If the boss can be frozen, that will pause the stun timer. Ellen's EX specials and chain attacks actually do decent anomaly buildup. If you're able to trigger freeze, you can use the extra time to wind up a charge scissor strike for more charges, or you could use Ellen's longer lasting ultimate. Frozen enemies will take a little extra crit damage for 10 seconds after. Getting a freeze off at some point will always be in your favor regardless of how you use it. As we move into the build section, Ellen has a lot of options. However, what works best for you may vastly be different for someone else depending on your gear investment and team options. I'm going to try and keep things simple, but there's a lot on the table you could use. The main thing Ellen wants first is crit rate to supplement her crit damage core passive. No crits means the crit damage is useless. Ellen's signature, Deep Sea Visitor, resolves her crit rate needs. 24% crit rate main stat, and on basic attacks you get another 10% crit rate for 8 seconds. After a dash attack, Ellen gets another 10% for 15 seconds. As the cherry on top, you get a 25% ice damage bonus at all times. Deep Sea Visitor gives 44% crit rate by itself. With Ellen's core passive at level E, she will already be at around 65% crit rate. We're going to be basic attacking and dash attacking all the time, so very easy to upkeep this effect. Now, any other S-rank W engines with crit rate bonuses can be used instead. Steel Cushion is alright, and Ellen technically can get behind foes with her third basic. Hugo's signature has Defense Shred after EX specials, chain attacks, and ultimates. Ellen's crit damage bonuses now apply to her big damage burst moves, and Myriad Eclipse does have its own 45% crit damage tacked on as well. Now for A-rank options, if you have the Event Mercado Desire that has a 20% crit rate main stat, you can get bonus attack on EX specials, chain attacks, or on foes with anomalies. From the Battle Pass, you could use Cannon Rotor for crit rate if you wish. If you have none of these, there are some pure attack options. The craftable Starlight Engine can be used, though you need to weave in dodge counters or quick assists. You can use the event Gilded Blossom, and for S ranks there is always good old Brimstone. Drive disc selection can get complex, but let's keep it simple. If you do not have a crit rate W engine, you most likely need a Partition 4 crit rate disc. If you have enough crit rate, you can go crit damage. However, due to Ellen having a ton of crit damage from the core passive, you could also be better off with percent attack. This will include the fact that some of her allies can add a lot of crit damage bonuses. For example, Lighter Signature, Astra, Jifufu, and the new King of the Summit Drive Disc set. It can get pretty crazy. Now, for Partition 5, this can also go many ways. Generally speaking, ice damage is usually fine, but if you have Ellen's Signature plus Lighter, then you could opt for more attack. If you also have an attack buffer though, well, now pen ratio can be enticing. Same goes for teams with Rena. Now for Partition 6, this is probably always going to be percent attack. For 4-piece sets, this will add more decision making. Polar Metal isn't bad, but it has a lot of bonus percent damage for basic and dash attacks only. Lighter can just give 50 to 75% ice damage for all attacks. If you also use Astra plus Astra Voice, that's just more percent damage for all moves. In this scenario, 4-piece Woodpecker may be the play. In combat attack is powerful, but you may only have 2 stacks up at most times. It's a generally okay option for any on-fielder. Now, the other reason to use Woodpecker is that Ellen's new teams without ice agents, you just aren't going to cause freeze or shatter as often. That also could diminish the Polar Metal 4-pieces uptime. Personally, if you plan to use Lighter, I would just use Woodpecker. If you're still using Mono Ice, Polar Metal can work. You can also supplement either of these 4-piece sets with their opposing 2 pieces. There is also 2-piece Branch and Blade Song for crit damage or Puffer Electro for pen ratio. Now, I have seen mentions for other 4-piece sets if you want to experiment. Branch and Blade Song, Hormone Punk, and Shadow Harmony. They each have their own quirks, but if you have a nice set and you can play into their requirements, then you can give those a try as well. For teams, Ellen has a new addition ability condition that works with any stun agent. The premier limited S-rank team is looking to be Lighter plus Astra. Lighter buffs ice damage, has some ice spread shred, and extends the stun timer. Astra can complement this with a big attack buff plus bonus damage and crit damage. You have a very snappy team with a quick assist in and out for easy Astral Voice uptime, and Ellen can go directly into Charged Scissor Strikes. Now, if you do like the standard ice team of Lycon plus Sokaku, they can still perform. Obviously, with all the launch agents, it's not the strongest team or anything, but they do have good synergies with Ice Spread Shred, Ice Damage, Sokaku's attack buff, and Lycon's stun damage multiplier bonus. This team can work nicely for Polar Metal freeze activations. From before the rework, I was actually using the double stun team with Lycon and Lighter. While that duo is definitely strongest with Hugo now, Ellen can make it work, and it got directly buffed since the core passive now it works on chain attacks and ultimates. Besides the Lighter plus Astra team, Ellen has a lot of options now. Trigger plus Caesar is a nice generalist team to let a main on-field DPS shine, bonus attack and damage, and always active stun damage multiplier, and maybe some defense shred if you got Trigger's signature. For another double stun team, you could also run the 3 Aftershock stunners. Trigger, Pulchra, and the upcoming Jifufu can give space for Ellen. You can of course pair these agents with Lycon and Lighter, as well as just a normal support. For Pulchra, you do ideally want M6, and for Jifufu, do be aware that she mainly buffs crit damage, which Ellen already has a lot of. She also does buff chain attacks and ultimates, and can let you carry 4,000 decibels though. That last perk is pretty interesting and can affect your later rotations. For other teams, it's not anything crazy, but something like Kaleda plus Lucy can now activate everyone's additional abilities. You could do Ambi plus Nicole. If you want, you can run Qingyi with any third ally. Essentially, any stunner plus a strong support will be great. You could run double stun if you want, maybe double support. I don't have her listed, but like before, any teams with Rena is still going to work now. While technically Lighter is an ice-related stunner slash buffer, we did not get a proper limited ice stun slash support in Season 1. If you want to run something like Polar Metal, that will be something to watch out for in the future, plus Freeze is just a nice anomaly for stunning in general. Ellen's Mindscapes did not get changed with the rework, but for the sake of completion, I want to briefly go through them. Mindscape 1 allows Swift Scissor Strike to gain 3 Flash Freeze charges. Charged Scissor Strike will now gain 6 charges. When you consume Flash Freeze, Ellen gets 2% crit rate for 15 seconds, and this will stack up to 6 times. M1 effectively makes gaining charges faster, which is great for the new Charged Scissor Strike with the built-in block. As Ellen spends those charges, she can get 12% crit rate. Mindscape 2 allows Ellen to chain her third basic attack into Shark Nami. When using either EX special, each flash freeze charge will increase the crit damage of the move by 20%. With 3 charges, you can get a max 60% crit damage bonus. M2 will change Ellen's combos by allowing you to do 3rd basic, then Sharknami, then back into the 3rd basic. Repeat as long as you got energy. With 2.0, Sharknami comes with a free Icy Blade, so it is just more damage now. Mindscape 4 says that when an enemy is frozen or stunned, Ellen gets 6 charges and Quick Charge. She also recovers for energy, though the energy part is only going to happen every 10 seconds. Basically, you can start a stun phase with no charges, and Ellen will instantly get 6 charges thanks to M4. Same is going to happen when freeze occurs. Last, Mindscape 6 states when using EX Special, Chain Attack, or gaining Quick Charge, Ellen gets 20% pen ratio for 6 seconds, and 1 stack of the feast begins. With 3 stacks, Ellen's next charge Scissor Strike will deal 250% more damage. M6 actually does get a nice buff from the 2.0 rework since Icy Blade gives Quick Charge. Instead of perfect dodging or quick assisting, Ellen can just combo with Icy Blade and her next charge Scissor Strike is going to get a major damage boost. If you want to outfit Ellen with goodies, her signature does give a ridiculous amount of crit rate. M1 adds its own 12% crit rate and makes getting Flash Freeze even easier when combined with the rework. M2 will give Ellen a new combo with 3rd basic into Sharknami directly. With 2.0, that combo is stronger thanks to the free Icy Blade. For the after party tips section, let's talk about a few quirks from Ellen's new moves. When chaining into Glacial Blade Wave from Charge Scissor Strike, you can actually just keep holding the base attack button after charging. Ellen will automatically shortcut into GBW. This isn't going to work for the other shortcuts as far as I can tell. Even though Glacial Blade Wave is a singular move, the aerial swipe consumes 1 charge and the ground side slash consumes another. After touching back down, if you dash cancel, you will not consume the 2nd flash freeze charge. Actually, if you spam dodge before coming down, you're not going to consume the first charge either. It only consumes the charge if Ellen starts attacking. It's not a huge deal, but if you wanted to save all your charges, then you actually can, even if you initiate the first part of GBW accidentally. When it comes to Icy Blade, Ellen is invulnerable, so it's safe to swap out early. You can even swap out on the moves before Icy Blade happens since it's an automatic attack. For example, during Ellen's 3rd basic attack, you can swap out while extending the move. This is a good opportunity to use Perfect Assist too. Ellen's dodge counter is another good chance. She will do the dodge counter move, then Icy Blade. For those looking to get the most damage possible, Ellen makes excellent use of the dodge parry assist tech. Perfect dodge into dodge counter into perfect assist in that order, executed very quickly. Ellen will get that extra Icy Blade, which looks very cool. Ellen 2.0 has a lot of iframes now, but she's not untouchable. Personally, I did find that the ending part of Icy Blade is susceptible to getting hit sometimes. The 3rd basic attack transition is also vulnerable, but that was the same as before. If you really need to play it slow, the safest moves I found was a repeating combo of Charge Scissor Strike into Glacial Blade Wave, and then back into Roaming State for another Charge Scissor Strike. This chains together a lot of iframes and the new block when charging up. You can cancel GBW early like we mentioned, but Ellen's going back into the Charge Scissor Strike anyway, so saving Flash Freeze isn't the biggest concern. Overall, Ellen 2.0 is a joy to play. She isn't going to be dethroning Miyabi or anything, but she feels a lot more competitive in terms of just being able to keep up with the aggressive enemies. Finding openings for Charge Scissor Strike was a big issue, and that's largely been solved thanks to the parry/block. The new moves will allow Ellen to chain together her attacks much more smoothly, and the changes to the core passive are a straight damage boost, especially for Ellen's burst windows. As for the additional ability, Ellen now has more team options to explore, which will be nice as we get newer agents down the line. If you'd like to try out the new Ellen, you can still demo her in Lost Void. She may have a little extra buffs there, but you can still test out the new flashy moves and see how she feels. That's all I have for this video. Have fun with the new Nom Nom Shark, and I will see you in the next one.